Good afternoon, students. Welcome to our e-learning class. Students, today in this video, we are going to start or going to read chapter 2, that is migration types, causes and consequences from the book India, People and Economy. So from the book India, People and Economy, we are going to start chapter 2, that is migration types, causes and consequences. Students, in your book Fundamentals of Human Geography, we have already learned about the concept and definition of migration. In the book Fundamentals of Human Geography, we have studied about migration, that what is migration, definition, etc. Actually, migration is an integral part. Migration is an integral part and very important factor in redistribution of population over time and space. Our country India has witnessed a waves of migrants from Central Asia, West Asia and even South Asia. In fact, the history of India is history of waves of migrants. The history of India can be compared with the history of waves of migrants into India, who came from all parts of the world into India and settled here permanently. One famous poet, his name is Firak Gorakhpuri, a famous poet, namely Firak Gorakhpuri. He said in Urdu language these two lines: सर जमीन ये हिंद पर अकवाम ए आलम के फिराक, कारवां बसते गए हिंदुस्तान बसता गया. So these two lines are given by that Firak Gorakhpuri. That means the Karvans is what? Many people, a group of people from all parts of the world kept on coming and settled in our country India and led to the formation of this great country India or Indian subcontinent. Similarly, large number of people also from India too migrated to some other places in search of better employment opportunities, especially to the countries of Middle East, Western Europe, America, Australia, East and Southeast Asian countries. So not only that people came from all over the world to India and our India was formed, at the same time from India too, from our country too, many people migrated to different countries in search of better opportunities. They went to East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, USA, Western Europe, Middle East, etc. Today also you see many Indians are settled in USA, many are in Australia, many are in China, like this. Many are in European countries like London, etc. Now students, today we are covering the following topics from this chapter. Introduction I have given. Now census, migration definition, streams of migration, 4 streams are there. spatial variation in migration, causes of migration, push factors, and under causes of migration both are coming, push factors and pull factors. Consequences of migration, what are the results? These are the five: economic, demographic, social, environmental, and others. So these are the consequences. So these are the consequences of migration. Now students, first census. Students, you are familiar with the word census. Census means collecting data about population. And you also studied in economics, also geography, that in our country India, census is calculated for every 10 years. The last census was 2011 and the coming will be 2021. Okay, now, so you are familiar about census in India. It gives information not only about the population, it also includes the information about migration or migrants. So how many people are migrants, or how much migration was done in our country India, that information also will be there in census. I told you in some video, the first census was took place in 1872 during British rule. The first census in 1872 during British rule. But later in 1881, the complete census took place in our country India in 1881. Complete census 1881. First census 1872. Both took place during British rule in our country India. Now, actually migration was recorded beginning from the first census of India. We started recording the migration from the first census of India conducted in 1881, that is complete census. This data was recorded on the basis of place of birth. At the time we did migration, we got the information about migration based on place of birth. Place of birth was the first one which was used in 1881. On the basis of place of birth, we did the migration information. However, the first major modification in census of India took place in 1961. Okay, in which two things were added. That is, one is place of birth. Here place of birth includes what? The place in which village or which town you are born. And second one, the duration of the residence. Suppose you are not born in any village or any town and you are born elsewhere, but you settled here now, that's called duration of residence. So these two were added in 1961, place of birth and also duration of residence. Further, in 1971, after 10 years, additional information on the place of last residence and duration of stay at the place of enumeration. Here the place of enumeration means what? The place where you settled and doing some economic activity or earning income. That is called place of enumeration. So in 1971, additional information on the place of last residence and duration of stay at the place of enumeration were also incorporated in 1971. Okay, information on reasons for migration. Were incorporated in 1981 census. And modified in consecutive years or consecutive census, like that. Some modifications are done thereby. In the census, the following questions are asked on migration. Suppose when they are doing census, at the time, to get the data about migration, the person who is doing census, he will ask the following question. The first question: is the person born in this village? Is this person born in this village or town? If no, then further information is taken on rural and urban status of the place of birth, name of the district and state. If outside India, the name of the country of birth. The second one, has the person come to this village or town from elsewhere? If yes, then further questions are asked about the status, I mean whether rural or urban, of the previous place of residence, name of the district and state. If outside the India, then name of the country. So in this way the questions were asked the person who are on census duty to get the migration information. In addition, reasons for migration from the place of last residence. Listen students, now very important point. In addition, reasons for migration from the place of last residence, not place of birth, from the place of last residence, and the duration of residence in the place of enumeration are also asked. I repeat, apart from both the points, reasons for migration also will be asked. Reasons for migration from the place of last residence and duration of residence of the place of enumeration are also asked. In the census of India, migration is enumerated on two bases. In our country India, migration is enumerated under two ways. One is place of birth. It includes if the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration. If the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration, that is called long time migrant. If the place of birth is different from place of enumeration, if the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration, it is called lifetime migrant. Second one, place of residence. If the place of last residence is different from the place of enumeration, that is called migrant by the last residence. So it will be asked for you to distinguish, differentiate between place of last residence, difference between lifetime migrant, and migration by the last residence. Okay, now coming students, streams of migration. But before going to tell you about streams of migration, let me tell you about what is meant by migration, or what is the definition of migration. Here migration means movement of people from one place to another. Migration means movement of people from one place to another is called migration. I repeat, movement of people from one place to another is called migration. Okay, now coming to streams of migration. There are four streams of migration. Already we have studied. There are four streams of migration, namely rural to urban. From villages to towns and cities, rural to urban. Second one, rural to rural, village to village. Third one, urban to rural, from towns and cities to village. Fourth one, urban to urban, that means towns to town. So rural to rural, urban to urban, rural to urban, urban to rural. So these are the four streams of migration. During 2001, 315 million. During 2001, 315 million migrants are found based on last residence. During 2001, about 315 million migrants are found based on the last residence. Similarly, 98 million changed their place of residence. 98 million people changed their place of residence in the last 10 years. These are objective questions. The stream was dominated by female migrants. If you see the migration, you will find more females are there. So females are mostly doing migration, many reasons, mainly marriage purpose. Female migration is due to marriage, and male migration is due to, that is, employment opportunities and education, mainly employment opportunities. Now, female predominate the streams of short distance rural to rural migration. I mean, female migration in migration, females are more. That too, they will do short distance migration. Unlike males are going country to country. Okay, country to country they are going. But here, females are going only short distance. They are going short distance. Okay, I mean rural to rural. Okay. Male domination in rural to urban. Generally, male migration is from rural areas to urban areas. Why they are moving? For better standard of living, better education, better health facilities, employment opportunities, etc. 96% migrate from neighboring countries to India. 96% migrated. 96% migrated from neighboring countries to India. Now, spatial variation in migration. Spatial variation in migration. I mean, within India, I mean state to state, that is called intrastate and interstate. Intrastate means here within the state. From Jagdalpur to Raipur, Raipur to Jagdalpur, Raipur to Durg, Durg to Raipur, like this. Intrastate. Interstate. From Chhattisgarh to Madhya Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra, Maharashtra to Gujarat, like this. So, spatial variation of migration, let us see. Migrants from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Migrants from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, okay, came to Maharashtra and Delhi, Gujarat and Haryana. Why? Because in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, the population is more. Density of population also is more. Most populous state Uttar Pradesh, most densely populated state Bihar. So here population is more, employment opportunities are less. The place of residence is very less. So most of the people as casual labor, daily laborers, in search of employment, they migrated to Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi, Haryana, etc. in search of employment. Now you might have seen during lockdown period, 3 days back, the government, allowed the laborers, wage laborers, daily laborers to go back to their, place of birth. They made all the arrangements. Okay, like this. Now, Maharashtra stand, objective question students, Maharashtra stand first in migration. Dash state stands first in migration? Maharashtra. Maharashtra state stands first in immigration. Immigration means what? People from other states coming and settling in where? Maharashtra. Immigration, IMM. Okay. So, Maharashtra stands first in immigration. Greater Mumbai received highest number of migrants. Greater Mumbai received highest number of migrants. Okay, that's why many people from Maharashtra they are sending to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Now, causes of migration. Two factors are there: push factor, pull factor. There are two factors are there: push factor, pull factor, which are the causes for migration. Now, what are push factors? What are push factors means? This cause people to leave their place of residence of origin. Push factor. People are leaving their place of birth and moving to some other place. Push factors refers to, when people leave their place of residence or origin, where they are born. They leave that place and move to some other place. And pull factor means what? These attract the people from different places. For example, Bangalore city attracts many new settlers. Ooty attracts many new people. There are certain regions which attracts people to move that place. Okay. Now, here I'll explain in better way. So, push factor means what? When people leave their original place of origin. Pull factor means what? Some factors will attract the people to move to some other place. Now, first one, push factors. Why people are leaving the place of origin, place of birth? Because so many problems. Okay, I'll explain. Push factors. First one, migrate from rural to urban due to poverty. They migrate due to poverty, high population, pressure on land, lack of basic facilities, flood problems, drought problems, cyclone and storms problems, earthquakes, war, local conflicts, stagnation in agriculture, and lack of job opportunities, or political instability, political unrest, floods, droughts, famines, poverty, unemployment, okay, disease. All these are the factors which make the people to leave that place where they're living and they'll move to some other place. Now pull factors: better employment opportunities, better opportunities, okay, presence of regular work, higher wages, higher education and health facilities, source of entertainment. So these are the things today which are attracted by the people. Hence wherever these things are available, people will go to that place. That's called pull factors. Next one, work and employment. Work and employment have remained the main cause for male migration. Already told you just before now. Work and employment is the main cause for male migration, and male migration is more than females. They move long distance, mostly from rural to urban areas. About 38% are male migrants, while it is only 3% of females. 38% male migration, only 3% female migration. Contrary to this, about 65% of females move out from their parental houses. 65% of women, they are leaving their parents' house after marriage and going to some other place. So that's why more migration are found in females, because after marriage they have to leave their father's house, they have to go to their husband's house. So female migration is more, 65%. Okay, parental houses following their marriage. Now, consequences of migration. There are 5 consequences, students, I told you. Now, first, before that I want to say something. Uneven distribution of population over the place. When migration will happen, then what will happen? It results in what? Uneven distribution of population over the space. People from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar migrated to Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi and Haryana. So what happened? The population in Gujarat, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh decreased, and the population in these states have increased. So unequal distribution of population. Next one, benefit both the place of migration. Benefit both the place of migration. It benefited Uttar Pradesh and Bihar because the population pressure which was there earlier was reduced, and moreover the other states where the job opportunities are more and labors are lesser, so they will get the labor easily now. So both places are benefited due to this migration. Now, first, economic consequence. What are the economic consequences of migration? Suppose a person from Bihar went to Maharashtra for job purpose. Then what happened? He will eat the job of a person from Maharashtra. Okay, that means economic consequence. He is eating the job of a person of Maharashtra state. So first point under economic consequence. Major benefit is remittance sent by the migrants. It is one of the source of foreign exchange. Due to migration, we will get a lot of foreign exchange. If suppose our people are going to America, China, Australia, Europe, they are working there, they are bringing some foreign exchange from there while working over there. In 2002, it was $11 billion foreign exchange through migration. $11 billion in 2002 foreign exchange we received. Punjab, Kerala, Tamil Nadu receive significant amount in the form of foreign remittance. Remittances used for food, repayment of debts, treatment, marriage, child education, agricultural inputs, construction of houses. So whatever money they bring, they use that money in all these fields. Migration from rural areas of eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha to the rural areas of Punjab, Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, accounted for the success of their green revolution strategy for agricultural development. Now, demographic consequences. Demography means it's related to population. I told in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, if the people will migrate, the population in that state will be decreased, and where they are going, there the population will increase. Okay. Redistribution of population. First one, redistribution of population. Male population increase in cities. Aged and skilled population migrate from rural to cities. Imbalance in age sex composition. There will be imbalance in age sex composition of those states where people migrated. Okay, both places, both the states, from where they left and where they went, there will be imbalance in what? Age sex ratio composition. Now, social consequences. Migrants act as agents of social change. Migrants act as agents of social change. Some good people will migrate from this place to there. They will spread education, skill, knowledge. Many Indian educated people, they are working in America because of their talent and knowledge in IT field. So migrants act as agents of social change. New technology, family planning, girls' education is diffused. Intermixing of different cultures. Migration also leads to intermixing of different cultures. Suppose if I settle in Maharashtra for 10-15 years, I'll adopt the Maharashtrian culture like that. In a positive change for national integrity, it is a positive change for national integrity. Migration brings unity, integrity. A bond among different people, but leads to unanimity. It brings integrity, but also leads to unanimity. It creates a social vacuum, social gap. Vacuum is a gap and a sense of dejection. People may fall in antisocial activities also. Migration also leads to antisocial activities. Bihar people, I heard in television that they spread throughout the country, and the number of the theft, this and this happened because of these people only. I am not personally against this one, but I heard from the television. Now, environmental consequences. Now, pressure on existing facilities. When people migrate from this place to that place, there will be a lot of pressure on natural resources, on environment. They'll make the environment dirty. Okay. Formation of slums and shanty colonies. See, many people from UP and Bihar, they migrated to Maharashtra. That's in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, so many slum areas are there, chawls are there. Over-exploitation of natural resources leads to pollution. Due to more population, due to more migration, there will be over-exploitation of natural resources, and it also leads to what? Environmental pollution. Depletion of groundwater. More population, more use of groundwater. Sewage disposal, drainage problem. Sewage disposal has become major problem in major cities due to what? Migrant settlers. Now last one, other consequences. What are the other consequences will come due to migration? Number one, change in women's status. So women's status will be changed. Change in women's status is the first and foremost change that comes under other consequences. Male selective migration in rural areas. Male selective migration in rural areas. Generally, males are moving from rural to urban areas. So here, male selective migration in rural areas. Very less people will come from towns to rural areas, villages. Women migration leads to what? Autonomy. Women migration leads to autonomy, but causes vulnerability of problems. Last point, loss of skilled persons in rural areas. Loss of skilled persons from rural areas, because they migrated to some other areas in search of employment to cities and towns. So students, this is the end of this chapter. Thank you very much. Hope you all understood all the concepts very well. In the next video, we will come up with some other topics of different chapter. Till then, thank you.